Okay, so this will be a very quick tutorial just to get you started using the Biomimicry Map. This tool is very new, so it might look a little different by the time you get here, but the process should be basically the same. And of course, we will continue to update these tutorials as the tool evolves. If you've just signed up, this is what your homepage will look like. You can see that we don't have any searches yet and no recent or saved explorations. But we can see several links to the basic maps, so we can click on any one of these to go over to the basic map and start our search. We'll start off with a very basic search just to get you started. Remember, this is a tool for biomimicry, and the main entry point into this tool is to search for a function. Search for something your design needs to do. So if you're designing a material, let's say that needs to be lightweight and strong, and maybe also something that conducts heat, you're just going to type in words related to those needs up in the search bar that says, what does your design need to do? Let's type in strength. I'm going to try to spell it correctly, but you certainly don't have to. So we have enhanced structural strength, increased material strength, and maybe we want it to be lightweight too, so we'll type in lightweight. Minimize weight, create lightweight structures, and something having to do with conducting heat. There, conduct heat. There's no reason to put a lot of functions over here. I probably put more than we need already, because this tool is designed to go out and find functions related to the ones you put in the canvas anyway. We will get into that a little bit later in a future tutorial, but for now, let's just search for these functions and see what adaptations come up. So now we have over on the right all kinds of different adaptations in nature. And these are all linked to the different functions we're searching for. So if I click on that, we can see all of the adaptations that are linked to enhanced structural strength, increased material strength. You can see that these functions are also combined. Again, there are ways to adjust all of this, but we will get into that in a future tutorial. For now, let's just look at the different adaptations that we have. So these are going to be organized by relevance to what you're searching for. What we're trying to do is put the best adaptation right at the top, and if we expand this, we can see a little bit more information about what is being referred to when it says multi-scale, material-efficient structural hierarchies. Within this, there are some more specific adaptations. We can either click on these directly, or we can go over to the Explore Adaptations tab. And if we click here, you can see again it says multi-scale, material-efficient structural hierarchies. And so this is just a different view, a more detailed view. So you can look at each one of these and see what's actually going on here. You have the more specific function that it's referring to. A quick summary of what this adaptation in nature actually is. The bone nanocomposite improves mechanical properties by using a staggered arrangement of stiff mineral platelets embedded in a softer collagen matrix. And so for any of these, you can see a little bit more detail about what's going on. And if we scroll all the way down to the bottom of the first group, we can see something called common threads. This looks at all the more specific adaptations that were combined into one convergent adaptation, and it explains what is similar about these adaptations. So this can be very helpful if you are looking for the most important characteristics that are addressing the functions you search for. And so this common thread says, these responses demonstrate hierarchical organization of materials across multiple spatial scales to optimize structural performance while minimizing material use. So that's what we're looking for, something lightweight and something strong. So each of these, it says, employs a strategic distribution of denser and lighter components, combining hard and soft materials or incorporating controlled porosity at different locations. So this gives you a broader view of all the adaptations above it. This is just one of the many different search pages that you can create over here. The primary adaptations page is always automatically created whenever you start a search, and so is this patterns page. This page gives you the most frequent patterns associated with the functions that you search for. So all of these patterns might be helpful for the specific collection of functions that you search for. These might be really valuable to consider when you are designing. And for one of these, we can just click on it. For example, if we don't know what helical stacking looks like, we could just give that a click. And it will bring up a page specific to this pattern. It starts off with an overview. We can see that this is referring to a pattern in biological materials where components are arranged in layers that rotate, and that is what's meant by helical. And then it gives you a bunch of examples of where you might find this in nature. And then if you scroll down, we have different functions that this addresses, and even further, we have different organisms that employ this pattern. If we want to save this for later, we can click here and go to Add to Projects. We don't have any projects yet, so let's create a new project, and we can just call it Strong and Light. Then we'll add that. Let's look at some more patterns. Stress distribution network, let's check this one out next. We can also add this one to our projects. So pretty much anything that you see on these search pages can add to one or more projects, and these are all going to be saved in your projects folder. So if we go back to the home page over here, we can see that now instead of saying there's no project yet, we have this Strong and Light project. So we can click on that and we have our resources. These are all the resources that we have associated with the one page that we have so far. Also, we have these two pattern overviews saved in this project. So in this tutorial here, that should be enough to kind of get you started. Like I said, we will be doing many more of these, focusing on the different things that we can do with this tool. We've only just scratched the surface, but hopefully that is enough to get you going. Stay tuned, we'll be back soon.